Hello everyone and welcome back to Complete Frontend. So in this video, we are going to be learning about the fundamentals of software engineering. We have other playlists going on in this channel such as the complete JavaScript course. If you are visiting this as your first video, I would highly recommend you to go check out that as well. But as a prerequisite, it is important for every software engineer to know about the fundamentals of software engineering. And one such topic is the DNS. So in this video, we are going to be learning about what is the DNS and how does it work. DNS stands for Domain Name System. Domain Name System is nothing but the phone book of the internet. Okay. So what do I mean by the phone book of the internet, right? So phone book of the internet is just like how we save phone numbers of people, right? There is every entity is given something called as the domain name or the IP address. Okay, so just like I have saved three people's names over here, say Shivam has a telephone number of 1 to 6, Hari has another number over here, Karthik has one more number over here, right? Just like that, even the websites on the internet work on the topic of domain names and IP addresses. Okay. So what is an IP address? IP address would look something like this, 128.160 plus 0.3.1. I'm just telling you for the sake of this example right now. So an IP address could look something like that. Now, say there are three websites, say something like the Puma website, there's a Google website and Microsoft website, and they have different domain names and different IP addresses. Before I tell you what a domain name is, let's think that google.com, to go to google.com, there is an address on the internet, right? Just like we have a physical address out there, there is an address on the internet as well for every website. So say Google resides at 128.128.128.128. I'm just taking it as an example, okay? This may or may not be a valid IP address. Now in this, if I have to remember this, cool. I remember that to go to google.com, there is no google.com anymore. I have to hit 128.128 on my browser and it will take me to google.com. Similarly, for Microsoft, it could be 128.160.1.2, something like this. Now, is it just one or two websites that we are talking about? Absolutely no. There are so many websites on the internet, right? On an everyday basis, you might be trying to find so many websites for so many things. You might be planning to go to Amazon. You might be planning to go and buy something. You may not even know the IP address of a website, or you may not even know the website to start with, right? So you're just trying to find something on the internet. So what is a domain name? Just like Shivam has a mobile number of 123456. So this IP address is mapped to a name. It's called google.com. So it is the mapping of an IP address, a computer readable IP address, to a human readable domain name. Okay. Domain name is nothing but the human readable part of it. That is google.com is called as the domain name. Similarly, Microsoft.com and many other websites out there. And the IP addresses which are mapped to it internally is something that is called as the IP address of that website. Now, we need to understand how this works. Why is this important? There are multiple reasons why this is important. One, this is one of the fundamental concepts of the internet. Okay, and this is a fundamental concept of software engineering, and people will ask you or could ask you these questions in interviews. My personal experience is that I was asked this interview in an Adobe interview. So is this important? This is absolutely important. Now, say for google.com, you need to hit that IP address. So DNS is the domain name system, which is like a phone book of the internet, where it will be written, hey, google.com is this IP address, Microsoft.com is this IP address, and so on for every website on the internet. Now, is it such a simple phone book and that's it? No, that's not how it works. So if you cannot remember this, and where is it stored then? It is somewhere on the internet, right? So where is it actually stored? So let's understand that now. DNS solves this problem of having to remember this IP address, and it receives or retrieves this human readable or retrieves the human readable domain names to machine readable IP addresses. Okay, so that is what the DNS is, as we already learned. Going to the next point, how does this DNS actually work? So first thing is, when a user makes a request, say it is microsoft.com, browser caches it. Browser caching means browser keeping a copy of it. Instead of actually going on the internet and trying to find the actual IP address, your browser actually keeps a copy of it just to remember, so that every time I don't have to go and get it. Imagine this like you keep having to ask your friend for another friend's address or phone number. So your friend of yours is very smart and he remembers the phone number of this third friend. Every time you need to call this third friend, you need to ask this second friend, hey, what is his number again? I don't remember. But what if you actually keep a copy of his written somewhere on the paper, right? That would be called as nothing but the copy or cache in this case. So your browser does a similar thing. It actually says, hey, I'll keep a copy of it. And periodically I'll keep changing if the IP address has actually changed. If it hasn't changed, then I can try hitting the same thing. I don't have to go and ask this second friend every time I need to go to this website. Okay, so that is called as caching. Now it will keep it and it will check in its cache. Hey, this person keeps hitting google.com. So is this google.com IP address present? If that person has never visited google.com or has visited google.com a long time before, that means the IP address has changed, let's say. Example again. So if your second friend gave you the number of the third friend, right? The second friend and third friend are very good friends, but you are not so close to this third friend. So you keep asking the second friend for the number, like I told you, right? So now what will happen is this number, you have written it down, but this time the call is not reaching the third friend. So you come to know that that number doesn't exist anymore. So you call this second friend again and ask, hey, that third friend's number doesn't seem to be reaching. Can you give me the new number? He's like, yeah, I know the new number. I can give this. This is your new number. So it will again cache it. Again, you will write it down. You'll be like, now this is the number, right? So now similarly, it will ask the browser, hey, in the browser, is this present? If it's not present, then what will happen is it will go to something called as the stub resolver. Stub resolver, you don't need to go too much deep into it, but you can think of it as in your OS is operating system. That means in your laptop or your operating system, there is one more level of this caching. So it also keeps keeping it down so that if browser forgets, I will at least remember. Okay, so it will go and ask there, hey, do you have this IP address of google.com? So first it came to browser and browser said, no, I don't have that number anymore. And then you go to this OS level, that is operating system, that is your Windows, Apple, this MacBook has its own operating system, things like that, right? So it goes there and it's like, hey, do you have the IP address? It's like, no, even I don't have it. If it has it, it gives the number, no need to go any further. Now, what would happen is, if it would check if that cache exists over there, if it is resolved, then it is resolved. If it is not resolved, it will go one step ahead. Now what would happen is, it would go to something called as the root name servers. Okay, if the cache is not present, it goes and asks the root name servers. This is actually like going and asking the third friend that, hey, the first friend, second friend don't have the numbers. What is the number of this person? This person that we're talking about has gone somewhere and hasn't been in touch with you from a long time. So nobody has this guy's number. Okay, so nobody has this guy's number, but this guy's number is something you need right now. Okay, so what do? So on a actual example, now let's understand what are these three named servers. So there are something called as three name servers, that those are root level name servers. Then there is something called as TLD, which is called as top level domain name servers. And then there is authoritative name servers. So there are three name servers. If you're actually watching this, you can actually go to the description of this video. I have linked the PDF of this document in the description. You can take this as your notes. Okay. Now, it asks the root level name server. So what is this root level name server actually doing? So who is reaching out to this root level name servers first? There is something called as the DNS resolver. It is called as DNS recursor. This guy's job is to go and ask. It's like your that friend who is very helpful. If you ask him, I don't have this person's number, he will go all around the place and find you the number, and he will tell you, hey, I got you the number. He's a very good guy. Okay. So now what's going to happen is it's going to reach to the root name servers. But where? What are these root name servers? So in the earth, which is a globe, right, at 13 places, that is at equal distances or at meaningful distances, I would say, these root name servers are present. Depending on which part of earth you are talking from or trying to reach to the website from, it will go to the nearest root name server and try to get you the data. It will not go to, if you're in India, it will not go to the US and try to find it. It will try to find the nearest root name server to you. If you're in India, it will try to find something that is closer to you. Now, I don't actually know where it is present for India, but you can say that it is put at 13 different equal spaces around the world so that people can reach very quickly. Otherwise, what would happen if it has to go one round to US and come back? It would take that much amount of time and your website would take that much more time to load. Now, getting back, it will go to the nearest one and that will say, the root name server will be like, I need to find what kind of website it is. Now, if you're going for google.com, this is called as the top level domain, okay, .com. There are many things like that, right? So there can be .shop, there can be .edu, there is .in, usually which is used for India website. Then there is something called as .org. Many top level domain servers are there. Now you are hitting google.com, right? So it's like, okay, I need to check under this com library. Now you can imagine it like this. This friend of yours was in B section, let's say, okay? So you are going to this set of friends who are in your B section and only asking them for this person's missing friend, person's number, right? You will not go to C section, D section, E section and ask everybody, hey, you have this guy's number, you have this guy's number. They will be like, I haven't even met him in college. I don't even know who this guy is, right? So you'll go to this B section and you will ask him, hey, let's assume this person's name is Abhishek. Do you have this Abhishek's number? This person seems to be missing. He's like, yeah, I might know. So what is going to happen right now? It's going to go to this .com and it's like, hey, do you have Google's IP address which I can use? Now, next, what is going to happen? So you can understand this with one more example. Okay, you go to a supermarket. You want to get detergent. Your mom told you, go get me detergent. Surf Excel, you get it because we need to wash clothes in our washing machine. Now you don't go, say you are in Bangalore, you don't go to Delhi supermarket and get it to Bangalore, right? Or you don't go to Mumbai and say, my mummy has asked to bring, Surf Excel. So I came to Mumbai because I saw that there is a supermarket here. No, obviously that would be the dumbest thing to do. You will go to your nearest supermarket where Surf Excel is present. Similarly, you went to that root name server. In there, in supermarket, there will be soap rack. There will be many other racks, right? Like food rack will be there, biscuit rack will be there, there will be juice rack, there will be detergent rack, and many other racks will be there. Will you go and start searching in the food rack? Hide and seek? No. It is Bonvita? No. Then you go to grocery, rice. This doesn't look like Surf Excel. Will you do that? No. There again, what will you do? You will go to the detergent rack or you will go to the area where detergents are present, right? So similarly, you went to .com. Making sense, right? Now in there, what you're going to do, you're going to ask this authoritative name server guy. So this person Abhishek, right? This Abhishek's person's friend is, say Santosh. This Santosh person may know Abhishek's number. So imagine this authoritative name server is like going and searching there. So you are saying, okay, can I find Abhishek's number here or can I find Surf Excel in this rack, right? So if that Surf Excel is present in that rack, then you will be like, okay, Surf Excel is present here. I will take this and I'll go back. Now your mummy is happy. You are happy. You got your friend's number. Okay. 2 examples going parallelly so that if one person doesn't understand one example, I'm trying to put 2 examples out there so you can actually try to imagine. Okay. If you have any doubts, always feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or you can reach out to me on my Telegram channel, which is @complete frontend. Okay. Or you can put your comments in this video itself and I'll always try try to respond to each and every commit. Okay, going further. So you got the IP address of this website from there right now, right? So it says Google's website IP address is 8.8.8.8. Let's just imagine for now. Okay, it comes back to the previous name server, then to the previous name. So essentially it will go back to the recursor has kept on asking, right? So recursor finally found the address of this, and recursor directly finds from the authoritative name server back to this good friend of yours, like I was telling you. It comes back and it's like, okay, let's cache it. So what's going to happen in this recursor is nothing but this recursor keeps a cache as well. Okay, so just like I told you that browser keeps a cache, like you remember the friend's name, if I told you wrote it down, right? That is equivalent to caching. So this guy is also like, okay, Srikanth is irresponsible. He might lose that place where he wrote it down. Let me also write it down, right? So it is going to keep a copy with itself because it doesn't like bugging everybody again and again. Okay, so it's like your, what do I say? Blinkit. Okay, they will keep a dark store nearby your house. They will come and give you, right? So you can imagine like that. So probably they get it from the supermarket. They keep it somewhere. Just let's imagine for the sake of the example. Okay, this is something what the recursor will do. Like I was saying, it will get it back and it will keep a cache and it will tell the OS now that, hey, this is the IP, and then it will go to the browser. So essentially your browser will get it. Okay, so your browser will keep a cache. It's like, okay, it's like you writing down the copy again. So you wrote down the copy. Now you are like, okay, I got my friend's number. Now I know how to reach out to him. Now you will make a call to him, right? Or you will WhatsApp him saying, hey Abhishek, long time man, haven't spoken to you. I need this from you. Similarly, this IP address will under the hood in your browser. You won't see it up there. You will only see google.com, but under the hood, it will be calling that IP address and it will be like, okay, now I need to reach. Now immediately it will directly go to that address on the internet and it will load the page for you. Okay, google.com will start coming up on your screen. Okay, now there are few other things. I told you it will go to the nearest root name server, right? So the nearest in the that is closer to you on the 13 places, right? That is done by a tool or a technology, I can say, called as Anycast. It helps find the nearest one, nearest root name server for you. You don't need to get too much in depth to this. Okay, so because no interviewer is going to ask you, hey, explain me under the hood how Anycast works and all those things, but feel free to go and check it out yourself. Okay, so all this happens just when you go to google.com, right? Just when you hit this google.com, right? All these things, just when I hit this google.com, within that fraction of 1 second, all these things are happening. Isn't it a magic? I was once told by someone that browser is one of the most complicated and fascinating engineering things that human has ever done. And I truly agree with that. If you don't have the browser, you probably will not be able to do anything out there, right? So browser is a very capable, underrated technology, I would say. Okay, so this is how DNS works. And I hope this was clear to you. If you have any doubts, feel free to post your questions. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed this lecture and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching The Complete Frontend.